In Afia TV News tonight, I am Amazing Grace Ajayi, and on the headlines, Dr. Prince Nduka Alum launches 2 books. On the national story, House of Representatives passed Finance Ministry Amendment Bill for second reading. In business, Central Bank of Nigeria raises interest rates to 27.5% to battle inflation. On the foreign scene, Israel carries out airstrikes in Beirut ahead of anticipated ceasefire deal. Special report is on the Enugu State 2025 budget presentation. We do have details of these stories and so much more tonight on Afia TV News. Do stay tuned. The Enugu North Municipal Hall played host to family, friends and well-wishers of Dr. Prince Nduka Alum over the weekend as they converged to witness the unveiling of his 2 authored books, The Girl Child and Behind the Doors of Fate. As an advocate for social justice, Dr. Prince Nduka Alum provided insight into the reasons that prompted him to publish 2 books.
The pleasure of expatiating on the topic of the girl child, speaking for those whose voice are not being heard in the society, being an advocate for things that I have noticed that in our society is not well presented. The girl child, what the girl child go through as a child, what growing up in Nigerian society, in African society, how the women are relegated to a second-class other when it comes to education. The priority of training the male child in disfavor of the girl child, especially where there is financial stress. I'm writing to make sure that from this point on, we give an equal opportunity, because they say the Messiah is coming, but we don't know where she's coming from. It can be the girl child, it can be the boy child. But at this point, what interests me more is to make sure that the society gets to a point where we start exploiting that zeal in the girl child that so far has remained untapped.
Barrister Chidi Grace Obeke reviewed the book, The Girl Child, with a call for enhanced gender sensitivity in the society, while Dr. Isaac Ohachu reviewed Behind the Doors of Fate, underscoring the importance of achieving a more balanced society.
The topic is something that is very dear to my heart, and I'm sure very dear to the heart of every woman here. Because every woman here was first of all a girl child. We know that we have a lot of problems in Nigeria, especially in the area of ladies' non-empowerment. And that's why maybe the girl child had not been appreciated so much that we see a lot of men telling their wives to punching bags.
And this particular work is a creation of someone that is rich in mind, rich in understanding, rich in background, and rich in experience. So no doubt you are going to find it very, very important. And the book revolves around the character Adeze. And this character is a dear child.
One of the guests, Professor Gab Agu, was full of praise for the author, whom he said used the books to highlight issues bedeviling the girl child in the society.
It's a very, very inspiring, inciting, and deep book. The thoughtfulness and the depth of knowledge that the young man exhibited, he's my younger brother anyway, exhibited in those books are very, very, very commendable. Most of the 2 books are aligned to the issue of developing the girl, or what you call the girl child.
Key features include the launch of the books, goodwill messages from dignitaries, and a book signing ceremony by the author for guests present. The Girl Child and Behind the Doors of Fate are available for purchase on platforms like Amazon, Konga, Lulu, and in bookstores across the country. The Benue State Police Command has arrested Samuel Nnamani, the Deputy President General of the Amafo community, for allegedly orchestrating the murder of Chief Osita Okoye, the community's President General. Nnamani, who reportedly lured Okoye to a meeting where he was killed, was captured in Makodi, Benue State after fleeing his community. Members of the Igbo community in Benue facilitated his arrest, handing him over to the police, who transferred him to Enugu State for further investigation. Following his arrest, the human rights group, the Civil Rights Realization and Advancement Network, commended the police for their efforts. The Anambra State Police have arrested Enyodong Basi, a native of Akwa Ibom State, for possessing a pump-action gun hidden in a bag of rice. The arrest was announced by the command spokesperson SP Tochukwu Ikenga in a statement from Oka, the state capital. According to Ikenga, officers from the 3-3 Police Divisional Headquarters detained Basi at Nkwele, Izunaka. During questioning, he admitted to being part of a vigilante group and planning to join a criminal gang for armed robbery. Commissioner of Police Nage Obono Itam called for improved profiling of security operatives to enhance safety and ordered the suspects transferred to the anti-robbery squad for further investigation. Governor Francis Mweferu of Ebonyi State has suspended Dr. Moses Ekuma, the Commissioner for Health, along with the ministry's permanent secretary for 3 months. The announcement was made by the state's Commissioner the Commissioner for Information on Tuesday following an executive council meeting held on Monday. The suspensions were prompted by the governor's discovery of a Toyota Diana truck loading registers, books, and other materials from the Ministry of Health warehouse during his project inspection tour. Additionally, Governor Mweferu suspended the Commissioner for Housing and Urban Development for 3 months. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll have stories on the national front. Do stay tuned.
Welcome to Afia TV, your go-to channel for excellent news and incredible shows that keeps you IEI, that is, informed, entertained, and inspired. Need a break?
Ladies and germs, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV.
Join Choco to vibe and chill on Lunch Break at 2 p.m. for the latest trends in music and entertainment.
Not like I have big money.
Dive into the world of innovation and creativity with Rochelle on Anka.
It means art in English,
where creative minds and groundbreaking ideas come to life. Tune in every weekday at 8 p.m. Do not miss Afia TV Official, your perfect dose of laughter, where they discuss what is currently trending on social media every day at 5:30 p.m. on Afia TV.
but in this economy, the savings will save you, man.
And that's not all. Stay tuned for more exciting shows on Afia TV. Catch us on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17.
Get ready for the 5th edition of the Eastern Nigeria International Film Festival, ENIF 2024, happening from November 27th to 30th in the vibrant city of Enugu. This year's theme, Reimagine, invites filmmakers to push the boundaries of storytelling and embrace new narratives. With over 40 films from 15 countries, ENIF 2024 promises an unforgettable experience featuring film screenings, workshops, thought-provoking panels, award ceremonies, and networking opportunities. Join us for the special opening film, The Man Died, inspired by the writings of Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka. From captivating screenings and immersive workshops to Tales by Moonlight and vibrant panel discussions, ENIF is your gateway to the world of African storytelling. Proudly supported by Enugu State Government, British Council, Afia TV and Radio, European Union Delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Center for Memories, Solid 100.9 FM, and a host of other partners. Don't miss this incredible opportunity to be part of Nigeria's most influential film festival, ENIF 2024, November 27th to 30th in Enugu. Visit www.enif.org for more details.
You're welcome back to Afia TV News tonight. And on the national stories, President Bola Tinubu has written to the Senate seeking to confirm the appointment of Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede as Chief of Army Staff. Oluyede has been serving in an acting capacity since his appointment on October 30. Tinubu's request is contained in a letter read by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio during plenary on Tuesday. Tinubu said Oluyede's confirmation is under the provisions of Section 218, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, and Section 18, subsection 1 of the Armed Forces Act.
Confirmation of appointment of Lieutenant General O.O. Oluyede as Chief of Army Staff. In accordance with the provisions of Section 218, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, as amended, and Section 18, subsection 1 of the Armed Forces Act, I am pleased to forward for confirmation by the Senate the appointment of Lieutenant General Oluyede as the Chief of Army Staff of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Lieutenant General O.O. Oluyede has been serving diligently in an acting capacity since his appointment.
This was then transferred to the Senate Committee on Army to screen and present the report to the whole committee for further action as soon as practicable. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has detained former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello after he voluntarily appeared at its Abuja headquarters on Tuesday. Bello, accompanied by his lawyers, was taken into custody over allegations of misappropriating funds and an 80.2 billion naira money laundering charge. The EFCC had declared him wanted in April 2024 after he ignored multiple summons. His successor, Governor Usman Ododo, who had previously accompanied Bello to the EFCC, was not part of his entourage this time. And finally, on the national story, the House of Representatives has approved the second reading of a bill to repeal the Ministry of Finance Incorporated Act of 1959 and replace it with the Ministry of Finance Act of 2024. Leading the debate, Ademorin Kuye explained that the outdated 1959 Act with only 6 sections has hindered the Ministry of Finance Incorporated (MOFI) from effectively managing federal government assets, resulting in widespread mismanagement and abuse. The real Act proposes 49 sections to provide a modern framework for the governance, management and custodianship of federal assets valued at over 300 trillion naira. He further emphasized that the bill aims to ensure accountability, prevent misuse, and optimize asset utilization. The bill also seeks to empower MOFI with new powers, establish a structured board, and support economic growth through efficient asset management. Away from that, now we take you to our business segment, where President Tinubu has assured Nigerians of brighter economic prospects as the country's gross domestic product continues to grow. Following the release of the National Bureau of Statistics third quarter GDP reports, the president noted a growth of 3.46%, up from 3.19% in the previous quarter. A statement from the president's special advisor on media and communications, Mr. Sunday Dare, highlighted that the GDP growth is a testament to the positive impact of the administration's reforms and its commitment to driving economic prosperity. President Tinubu reaffirmed his goal of achieving a $1 trillion economy by 2030 and stressed that the upcoming rebasing of the economy in early 2025 will reflect its evolving dynamics and help position Nigeria for long-term prosperity. And now, still in business, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPCL, has resumed operations at the Port Harcourt refining company, marking the start of crude oil processing and the distribution of petroleum products like petrol, diesel, and kerosene. NNPC's Group CEO Melo Kyari highlighted the achievement as a significant step towards Nigeria's energy independence and economic growth, crediting President Tinubu's support. The CEO of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, also praised the success and pledged continued support. The PHRC rehabilitation project has completed over 16 million man-hours without injuries, advancing Nigeria's refining capacity. In a related development, President Tinubu have congratulated the NNPCL on the successful revitalization of the Port Harcourt refinery, also urged the firm to expedite the scheduled reactivation of the second Port Harcourt refinery and the Warri and Kaduna refineries. The special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, stated that the President acknowledges the pivotal role of former President Muhammadu Buhari in initiating the comprehensive rehabilitation of all the refineries and expresses gratitude to the All African Export-Import Bank for its confidence in financing this critical project. Still in business, the Senate Joint Committees on Finance and National Planning has commenced a public hearing on the 2025 to 2027 medium-term expenditure framework/fiscal strategy paper to avail the various ministries, departments, and agencies the opportunity to present justifications on their economic and fiscal estimates contained in the document, which is crucial for preparing the 2025 budget. The one-day public hearing is being chaired by Chairman of the Senate Committee on Finance, Senator Sani Musa. Senator Musa, in his welcome address, highlighted the medium-term expenditure framework, MTEF, and fiscal strategy paper, FSP, as critical for steering Nigeria's budget.
It is imperative to address leakages across all revenue-generating channels. We must focus on strengthening our institutions, enhancing efficiency, and embracing innovation to ensure that every naira due to the government is collected and accounted for. To draw a parallel, South Africa, for example, recently reported a tax revenue collection of 1.686 trillion rand, approximately about $94 billion, for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2023. This fell just slightly below its 1.692 trillion rand target, reflecting disciplined revenue generation and accountability. For Nigeria to achieve similar or better results, we must requalify and diversify our revenue streams, adopt innovative revenue models, and enhance the capacity of government-owned enterprises to implement sustainable business strategies. By doing so, we can build a resilient fiscal framework capable of supporting our developmental aspirations.
This part, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, expressed optimism about Nigeria's rise in GDP despite high inflation rates.
Under His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nigeria has changed fundamentally. His Excellency took over very difficult economic circumstances, as we know. Key decisions had to be taken to reset this economy and the macroeconomic path that was not just sustainable in terms of fiscal spending, but that engender the investment by Nigerians. It's important, but we also have to be clear with ourselves. Inflation is still high and elevated, and everyone, particularly the poor and those who feel it. And that's why interventions are being made particularly for them.
Speaking, Minister for National Budget and Planning Atiku Bagudu emphasized that enhancing domestic production is vital for combating inflation in Nigeria.
Of the renewed POP agenda, the 8 priority areas are to strengthen the macroeconomic environment so that it can include all. And a number of measures which have been taken and which have been supported by the National Assembly, we believe the heavy lifting phase has been undertaken. Even the exchange rate is supportive of domestic production, because today as an importer may feel the exchange rate is not so favorable, but our exporters are smiling. So we want more domestic production. We want more of our young people supplying talent outside the country, and they are supported in doing so by a talent development program so that they can provide services abroad and get more production, more, and in addition, but all the measures being taken that we believe will strengthen domestic production will help lowering of inflation further.
Earlier in his opening remarks, Deputy Senate President Senator Barau Jibrin, representing the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, assured that the 10th National Assembly remains committed to formulating policies that drive economic prosperity and development for Nigeria.
The National Assembly is unwavering in its commitment to fostering an economy that will make Nigeria a beacon for prosperity in Africa and beyond. We will continue to advocate for policies that promote economic growth, social equity, and sustainable development.
Meanwhile, senators raised concerns about the federal government seeking loans to fund the nation's budgets despite high revenue targets achieved by revenue-generating agencies this year. The Senate was therefore informed that nearly all the federal government's revenue agencies surpassed their 2024 revenue targets just days after lawmakers in both chambers approved a $2.2 billion loan included in the 2024 budget. The Monetary Policy Committee (MPC) of the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has decided to increase the monetary policy interest rate to 27.50%, up from 27.25% as part of ongoing efforts to address Nigeria's rising inflation, which reached 33.88% in October. In a statement following the committee's 209th meeting in Abuja, CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso confirmed that all members of the MPC supported the decision. Additionally, the committee chose to keep the asymmetric corridor at plus 500 to minus 100 basis points. The governor also noted that Nigeria's foreign reserves had risen to $40.88 billion as of November 21, 2024, compared to $40.06 billion at the end of October. The MPC maintained the cash reserve ratio for deposit money banks at 15% and the liquidity ratio at 30%. And finally, in business, Europe's benchmark natural gas prices are on the rise, marking uncertainty about sufficient supplies and increased demand as Europe is approaching the third winter since Russia invaded Ukraine. However, the necessary natural gas reserves appear to be supplied and secured at the moment. Dr. Youssef Al-Shamari, president of the London College of Energy Economics, stated that the EU gas storage capacity stood at 90% in August, way before its deadline, and today, gas storage stands at 95% full, well above 100 billion cubic meters. Away from business now, we take you over to the foreign news, where thousands of supporters of jailed former Prime Minister Imran Khan clashed with security forces in Islamabad on Tuesday, demanding his release. At least 6 people, including 4 paramilitary soldiers, were killed during the unrest. Khan's wife led the protest, reaching the edge of the heavily guarded red zone, which houses key government offices and foreign embassies, before being pushed back by security personnel. Khan's party, PTI, plans to stage a sit-in until his release. Pakistan's Interior Minister ruled out negotiations with the protesters, while Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif blamed the protesters for the soldiers' deaths, accusing them of driving vehicles into the paramilitary troops. And finally, on the foreign news, reports say Israel launched heavy airstrikes in Beirut on Tuesday as its security cabinet prepared to discuss a ceasefire deal with Hezbollah, potentially set to take effect on Wednesday. Both Israeli and Lebanese officials expressed optimism about a diplomatic resolution to the conflict, which has killed thousands since it began during the Gaza war last year. Despite hopes for a ceasefire, hostilities continued, with Israel intensifying its airstrike campaign. Hezbollah's Hassan Fadlallah warned of dangerous, sensitive hours as Lebanon awaited the potential announcement. Prime Minister Netanyahu was set to address the nation after the cabinet meeting. And now in sports, Eyimba held their first training session in Ismailia on Monday night in preparation for their CAF Confederation Cup Group D match against Egypt's Al Masry. The session, held by head coach Yemi Olaruwaju, was conducted under the floodlights. The team arrived in Cairo on Sunday night for the upcoming game. Eyimba will continue their preparations on Tuesday and are set to face Al Masry at the Suez Canal Stadium in Ismailia on Wednesday at 6 p.m. The group also includes Egyptian club Zamalek and Mozambique's Black Bull. We do have a special report tonight, and of course it's on the budget of Enugu State, which the Enugu State Governor Dr. Peter Ndubisi Mba presented a total of 971.84 billion naira budget for the 2025 to 2027 fiscal year before the State House of Assembly. The budget proposal, which is the highest in the state, has its capital expenditure as 837.94 billion naira and recurrent expenditure as 133.1 billion naira. Our correspondent Chidima Madu has the details.
Presenting the budget during plenary, Governor Peter Mba titled the budget as Exponential Growth and Inclusive Prosperity. He said the aim is to increase the gross domestic product (GDP) of the state to the top 3 in Nigeria.
In crafting this budget, we have sought to continue to lay the right foundation in Enugu to enhance the economy and attract even more private investment. In spite of the dreary economic environment across the country, for us here in Enugu, we have elected to remain bullish in our aspiration and to double down on our commitment to elevate our state to the top 3 status in terms of GDP nationally and eradicate poverty from our midst. Indeed, we see this as a vindication of our previously espoused view that sustainable national growth can only be driven from the subnational units. It is on account of this that we are proposing to the House of Assembly today a budget with a total envelope of 971 billion 84 million.
He gave a breakdown of the government sources of revenue. Governor Mba also announced the kickoff of Enugu Air and the 4 bus terminals within the state by the end of December.
In the area of our revenues, we estimated that total recurrent revenues during 2025 will amount to 692 billion 179 million naira, as against the approved revised provision of 383 billion in 2024. In the area of our revenues, we estimated that total recurrent revenues during 2025 will amount to 692 billion 179 million naira, as against the approved revised provision of 383 billion in 2024. The current revenues for 2025 are broken down as follows. Opening balance, 32 billion. Internally generated revenue, 509 billion 947 million naira. Statutory revenue, 48 billion 749 million naira. Exchange rate differential, 26 billion 559 million naira. Value added tax, 74 billion 924 million naira, giving us a total recurrent revenue of 692 billion 179 million naira. For 2025 fiscal year, recurrent expenditure, which is proposed at 133 billion 140 million naira. By the way, it's again doubling down. This constitutes 14% of our total budget envelope.
Speaker Enugu State House of Assembly Engineer Uche Ugu, on behalf of the chambers, assured Governor Mba of their support.
Your Excellency, sir, because you have demonstrated enormous capacity, you have activated the potential energy of the very fabric of our state's economy. I want to assure you that the House of Assembly shall expeditiously consider this money and give you the legal framework to continue to enter.
Some local government chairmen said the implementation of the budget will project Enugu in the international space.
Agriculture has become a very important sector in Enugu State, so that we not only banish poverty in Enugu State, we are pushing forward the essence of wealth even beyond the state, so that those surrounding the state will not even mention poverty around them. Enugu Air, it will give us opportunity for people to come home and relax. And I see a situation where a lot of people will be coming home for the Christmas and a lot of other festivals. So it gives joy that Enugu State is ready to accommodate more projects, more development, and more people coming into for investment.
Enugu has been an aviation hub to the east. He has the oldest airport in the east, but we have not been able to have any flying, any airline that is eastern. Now the state government is coming up with that vision to leverage on that opportunity. And you can't talk about growing the economy without thinking outside the box. So Enugu Air is one of the measures and one of the strategies you want to grow the economy, because the opportunities are there, the airport is there, and a whole lot of international airport is there. So it's something out of the world, and we commend it for that. Africa is the future of the world. We can control the 60% of the youth, of the youthful population in the world. Now, and you cannot equip these youths if you don't equip them educationally. So now the state government is investing in the future of the youth and the future of our generation by investing in exponential education. So once these youths are invested upon and they become digitalized, it means they'll be able to meet with the demands of the future of work. The future of work is already changing. And it's only those who are prepared that can take those opportunities to be globally competitive. And that's where Enugu State is going.
The education sector received 78% of the social sector allocation and 33.2% of the total capital expenditure. In Enugu, Chidinma Mado for Afia TV.
Up next is our conversation segment, and we'll speak about the Port Harcourt refinery production, which started today. Do stay tuned.
homecoming event happening near you this week. Happening near you this week. For more information about these events, visit www.afiahomecoming.com. For inquiries and sponsorship, call 0703 645 5315. Come home and make memories.
Across the bridge, there's no more sorrow.
It's a celebration of life as we express our gratitude to God for a life well spent. The family of late Godwin Onya from Udeji village, Amecho Konano, in Enugu South local government area, announces the glorious exit of their beloved matriarch, mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother, aunt, and sister, late Mrs. Grace Ogwebunam Onya Nea Chime. She was aged 79. Burial arrangements, Friday, November 29th, 2024. Service of songs at St. Matthew's Anglican Church, Udeji village, Amecho Konano, at 4:30 p.m. Saturday, November 30th, 2024. Body leaves Eastern Medical Center, Enugu, to her hometown by 10 a.m. Funeral service and burial at her compound will take place, followed by a reception at the Amechi football field at Udeji village at 11 a.m. Sunday, December 1st, 2024. Thanksgiving service at St. Matthew's Anglican Church, Amechi Okunano, at 10 a.m. She is survived by children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, sisters, other relatives, and friends. Announcer, Professor Chidi Abero.
Good evening to you, viewer, and welcome to Women in Business, a show that profiles women, executives, and even the next door store owner, showcasing Igbo greatness to the world.
I started always obsessed with books ever since I was a child.
The stress of always converting naira to dollar and
an incompetent means an incompetent person.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Ladies, join us on Gyno Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breast size. The frequency of breastfeeding means the
approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing along.
I did single. For real.
You're not a backup singer.
That's what they do.
You've often wondered, what does it mean to be Igbo in today's Nigeria? You know, what's the intersections? What are the conversations we're having about our Igbo spirituality, culture? An example is people wearing red cap. You know, everybody wears red cap. Are they entitled to wear it? What does Nzenoso mean? What does Igbo spirituality mean? How have we changed as a society over the last 20, 30, 50, 100 years? Every Thursday, 6 p.m., if you want to know more on libations, as I have a conversation with different people from all walks of life who common thread is being Igbo, or doing business with the Igbo, or living in Igbo land. What does it mean to be Igbo in today's Nigeria? Cheers. And, I need to do this. let me pour to our ancestors.
It's a brand new week and another opportunity for us to gist and me to tell you, bring all the spice, all the things that are hot, trending and exclusive on social media. Sometimes I know there's constructive criticism. I know that you know how to quote it. So for the people that don't understand, I want to be like, oh, why are you doing this?
Please, I'm not a cross-dresser. I'm only doing this because of the money on Facebook.
There are some people you need to just tell the truth brutally. Let it hurt them. Give it hot.
Afia TV official, exclusive every weekday on Afia TV.
Assalamu alaikum jama'a, sunana mai martaba sarki Abubakar Yusuf Sambo. Ina kallon Afia TV kuma ina jaddada ma jama'an mu su dinga kallon Afia TV. Allah ya taimake su a aikin da suke na kyau. Inda ba yake nemo no Afambo His Royal Highness Sarki Abubakar Yusuf Sambo an ma watch Afia TV na kwado kwandibu. Inda ba ni ne ka hana watch Afia TV. Afia TV na mofima dalono.
Time check, it's 2 p.m. and it's time for us to vibe, chill, and relax. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV. So Lunch Break is all about the music, it's all about fun, it's all about entertainment, it's all about entertaining gossip and stories from social, it's all about the latest trends, it's about what's lit, it's all about the games with our guests, and yes, in general, I like to say it's all about the vibes and vibes only.
Welcome to Afia TV, your go-to channel for excellent news and incredible shows that keeps you IEI, that is, informed, entertained, and inspired. Need a break?
Ladies and germs, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV.
Join Choco to vibe and chill on Lunch Break at 2 p.m. for the latest trends in music and entertainment.
Not like I have big money.
Dive into the world of innovation and creativity with Rochelle on Unka.
It means art in English.
Where creative minds and groundbreaking ideas come to life. Tune in every weekday at 8 p.m. Do not miss Afia TV official, your perfect dose of laughter, where they discuss what is currently trending on social media every day at 5:30 p.m. on Afia TV.
But in this economy, the savings will save you, man.
And that's not all. Stay tuned for more exciting shows on Afia TV. Catch us on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17.
Good evening to you, viewer, and welcome to Women in Business, a show that profiles women, executives, and even the next door store owners, showcasing Igbo greatness to the world.
I started always obsessed with books ever since I was a child.
The stress of always converting naira to dollar and
An incompetent means an incompetent person.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Hey ladies, join us on Gyna Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breast size. The frequency of breastfeeding means the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing alone. I did sing. For real. You're not a backup singer.
That's what they do.
You've often wondered, what does it mean to be Igbo in today's Nigeria? You know, what's the intersections? What are the conversations we're having about our Igbo spirituality, culture? An example is people wearing red cap. You know, everybody wears red cap. Are they entitled to wear it? What does Nzenoso mean? What does Igbo spirituality mean? How have we changed as a society over the last 20, 30, 50, 100 years? Every Thursday, 6 p.m., if you want to know more on libations, as I have a conversation with different people from all walks of life who common thread is being Igbo, or doing business with the Igbo, or living in Igbo land. What does it mean to be Igbo in today's Nigeria? Cheers. And, I need to do this. Let me pour to our ancestors.
You're welcome back to Afia TV News tonight. In our conversation segment, we do sincerely apologize for taking most of the time. We're trying to connect with our guest, but unfortunately his network is so bad. But today we wanted to talk about the Port Harcourt's refinery production with our guest Onyedika Abu. And after several postponements, the Port Harcourt refinery finally commenced fuel production. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited stated this, and by the spokesperson Olufemi Sones, and he said the loading of trucks would start Tuesday. In another update on X, the NNPC said the NNPCL delivers Port Harcourt refinery as plant begins truck out of products today, November 26, 2024 at 1:45 p.m. The Port Harcourt refinery would be the second petrol-producing refinery after the Dangote commenced PMS production in September, and it's one of the three owned by the federal government and managed by the NNPC. Nigerians have been hopeful that the cost of fuel could crash if the country refines its crude and ends the import of refined products. And unfortunately, we wanted to ask our guests, some questions like, this is a big congratulations to the Nigerian people on this feat, but is this a glimpse of hope to the untold hardship bedeviling Nigeria? When this administration talks about hope, is this what they're talking about? Also, some people are of the opinion that until Ipman starts to get supplies from the refinery, they might not take this seriously. But do you see this as a case of people, Nigerian people who have been traumatized and betrayed over time trying to believe the government? And of course, would have loved to find out his expectation and how safe it is to say that Dangote brought on a healthy competition. We hope that he joins us some other time and that we're able to talk about this. But we want to say thank you for watching Afia TV News. And just before I go, here's a recap of the top stories. Dr. Prince Nduka Alum launches 2 books. And on the national news, House of Representatives passed Finance Ministry Amendment Bill for second reading. In business, Central Bank of Nigeria raises interest rate to 27.5% to battle inflation. On the foreign news, Israel carries out airstrikes in Beirut ahead of anticipated ceasefire deal. And the special report was an Enugu State 2025 budget presentation. And that's all that we have on the news for tonight right here on Afia TV. And of course, you can join our social media handle at Afia TV Official. Many thanks for joining me. I am Amazing Grace Ajayi. Good evening.